doing? Welcome back to another Commercial Trucking Chronicles. I'm your boy Swizzy. I'm back with another video shortly. Should be being joined by guests today on the show. This will be the first time I had a guest up here. And, just ask that you guys show him some love, man. Show him some love, appreciation for his time that he's spent up here. If he comes in, should be coming in shortly. I'm excited today, man. I'm excited, you know. Oh, there goes your brother right here. There you go. Excited to have him. Get him up here now. There you go. There you go. Hey, what's going on, man?
Peace, family.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Yo, let me introduce y'all to my man, The Truth.
Peace.
You know what I'm saying? Big T.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everyone? How is it going on out there today? You know, regular motion.
Right now, well, I'm at it's not bad. It ain't bad where I'm at. How about you?
Oh, it's cold over here, man. You know, we up north over here. 20 degrees type action right now.
Okay.
But you know, it's all good. We indoors right now, so it's all good. What you getting into?
Well, I'm here. I'm gonna show you real quick. Doing a little bit of, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We working.
Truck work, baby.
Yeah, even though they telling us that the economy is slowing down, don't look like it over here, you know?
Yeah. Now, you know, construction booming in certain areas.
Yeah, the construction is heavy, man. It's just but I'm doing the trucking thing, so sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You know what I'm saying? Go to work depends. You know what I'm saying? With this type of, because you own a company,
contractor, general contracting, building and stuff. So it's ups and downs. Right now is it's a good time, even because the interest rates went down a little bit, so it's making it a little more affordable to borrow some money, to buy some lots and properties and rehab or build from scratch or whatever.
Now, what's the name? What's the man name that they're trying to replace that guy at the Fed?
Oh, Powell. They're trying to replace Powell, but they haven't chose the replacement yet. Trump just throwing names in the air basically. But
they ain't chose the guy they want to put in the seat.
Nah, not yet. Not just yet. It's soon to come because I think Powell's term is about up. And then Trump is the one who put Powell in when he was in president last time. And now he's talking junk to him.
He appointed him as chairman in his last term.
Yeah, his last term, yeah. He mad because he wouldn't just lower the interest rates just like that,
Well, that's another thing too. Like,
just because the president said,
but Powell was always saying that he was saying because he going by the data that they have, according to that. But is the data correct? Because see that a lot of you know how it is. You want to fact check everything. You see what I'm saying? When you hear, especially when you hear them talking about the economy or even politics or even whatever, you want to fact check that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you don't know if with all that data, the books could be cooked anyway, because they know how it moves the markets. They know how the market sentiment affects going off of the data, and they're trying to make money in the markets. But it's crazy because sometimes you get good news from the data, but it affects the markets in negative. And then you get bad news from the data, and then it affects the markets in a positive. Because like right now the market, they steady looking for that rate cut so they could get more buying power out of the money that they borrow. Because with the higher the interest rates, the less spending power you have, because you got to pay back a heftier payment, monthly payment or whatever it is. So that's taken away from your spending power. But when the market's here, lower interest rates, usually shit booms. Like, see, right now everything is down. I'm looking at
High,
Bloom.
sky
I'm
high.
looking at Bloomberg now. Man, all the indices is down. Down. The Dow is down 235 points. S&P down 32 points, and Nasdaq down 63 points. So,
What
and
what
so
what do you think that what do you think most of most investors are thinking right now?
right now, I mean, they kind of still uncertain. Like they don't know really what's going to happen, and I don't know, because I was anticipating for shit to shoot up since the interest rate dropped. So that's why I'm watching Bloomberg, kind of get a feel for the sentiment, like see what's going on, because the VIX is up too now. When the VIX is up, usually the indices is going down and shit. So the VIX, I don't know what the dollar is doing right now, but I think the dollar is going down too right now. But it might be going up. I don't know, because they kind of work inverse. I mean, when the dollar is going up, the indices is going down. When the dollar is going down, the indices is going up. Kind of like combating each other. But everything's volatile, but you could make money during the volatility. You could make money as it's going up and make money as it's going down. As far as trading. She said, "Are we twins?"
Yeah, somebody asked if we twins.
Close. Salam. Peace to the peoples. But
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
So, yeah, what did you say you were doing?
No, I was just talking about the stocks and the market and stuff like that.
So most investors right now, yeah, of course, it's everything crashing, but they said they're not expecting a rate cut. They said they're going to cut rates, right? But they cut the rates. You expect the prices to go up, right? So early next year, they're expecting for another rate cut.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Probably 2 rate cuts in 2026, but
2 more.
Yeah, that's what they're betting on.
But if the markets react how they are now, like everything is kind of trash. It's still going down, right?
Yeah, people try, I guess, to getting ready to try and buy the dip. Maybe, I don't know. Because the earnings and stuff have not even been that bad. Been good earnings for like the companies and stuff. So, like I said, usually some type of news is what will make the kind of markets kind of move down, because they've been down for the last 2 days. Last 2 days been a downtrend.
Yeah, I saw that. When we was talking the other day, I was like, man, you know what? I gotta go try and take advantage of this and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, you don't get too many opportunities. Those opportunities to buy discount prices and stuff on
Exactly.
exact things and stuff. So when it gets to a point where it's fair, like you said, a lot of people have there's uncertainty and stuff. That's usually that's what smart investors look for those times. Take advantage, get ahead of the herd.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? So sometimes it's gotta be a retraining, and you know what I'm saying, in the mental processing, of okay, I have money, but what am I gonna do? Like, say income tax time comes, right? And people get a bunch of, get a stimulus. You know what I'm saying? On top of, like a tax return. And that's a nice little amount of money to get it.
Dividends and shit, yeah.
But process is not depending on. I'm not even really looking at what what the market is doing, but just generally people will get the money and turn around and spend it rather than invest it, or even look for the right time to invest that money.
Yeah.
You can get the money and hold it until it's the right time to invest it too. Doesn't mean it's the right time just because that money is made readily available. Because usually the people that are giving you that money or that stimulus, they're looking to kind of get that money back from you
some way.
Yeah, fast, because people are they're gonna part ways with the money. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna stand to invest. Then investors will invest in whatever it is that's gonna help make them money. So once
consumers are gonna consume, that's
once we go out and we start buying, then we done fell right into the trap.
Yeah, we got to try and buy things that are going to appreciate, like cars and clothes and all that stuff. They nice, but they don't really have too much appreciation value. Go get you a piece of land, some property, some stocks, some crypto, something that you got to play the probabilities and shit. Things that's gonna take off, things that's gonna appreciate, things that might depreciate. We all like to spend, but you gotta hedge against that spending.
Some people up here too. I was trying to look and see.
Say hi. I don't know how to say hi.
Yeah. I'm trying to say what's up to him, but I can't pronounce this name.
Which one? Exito Gamer.
Well, I appreciate all the people that's joining the live. Some people's redacted some of their things. I don't know why they did that. Try to get around to some people when we have a minute. But so let me ask you this, man. All right, the big thing everybody's trending and talking about is the AI. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on AI? Of course, we know computer chips and stuff and everything is. Now we're in a whole new. It's a new wave and a new time, because if we're gonna start being honest, we have to adopt the AI, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't can't reject the new technology. You got to be able to adapt to the change. People are nervous of AI, but the thing with AI, it has to have somebody to direct it or prompt it or tell it, what to do to get the best use out of the AI. So it's basically here to assist us and make our lives easier. So we can't really fear it, but till we get an understanding of it. Everybody fears stuff that they don't understand, but once they take that time and try and research it, they'll see, the benefits. Everything have pros and cons. So, everything created has pros and cons. So you just got to try and use it for more positive than negative. And it has its advantages and it has its disadvantages, just like any technology. It might take some jobs, but it might create some jobs also at the same time. So, you have to be open to it because you can't stop it, really. So you can't really resist it. It's better just go with the flow and try and learn it. See how you can benefit from it.
So now the supply chain, how the supply chain, everybody's affected by the supply chain, and now the tariffs target the supply chain.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the overall economy is affected too, because it will play a part because of the rates, how much money people get, like you said. So, going out, buying property, and being able to build and stuff like that, it all comes back to the rates.
And the dollar is going down. The value of the dollar is depreciating.
So the goods and stuff, all right. So the supply chain, a lot of the goods and services, in these that these truckers and the industries, we're moving dirt. There's people moving trucks with flowers. There's people moving trucks with building material. There's people moving in trucks that are, so the supply chain. We have beef coming in. We have medicines, medical supplies being moved in this, the transport department and the supply chain and the tariffs. How you see all of this being made easy with AI? Because right now we're being affected by the high cost of everything. But we gotta keep trucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This thing can't stop. And it ain't gonna stop.
No, it's not gonna stop because we're gonna keep building. It's just a matter of adjusting to the newer infrastructure, which was like infrastructure for everything is outdated anyway, especially over here in the US. If you think about the physical infrastructure of the US, the highways and the roads and all that stuff, it's time for a lot of that stuff needs to be updated, and updated just means change basically. So, what AI could do a whole lot of different things in every field, because they talking about fully self-automated driving trucks and cars and everything, where you could have a fleet of trucks and you might not even need a driver. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different aspect, and then but in a way it's kind of making people be more entrepreneurial and self-sufficient, because say if you're working for a company and then AI comes and takes your job, now you have to resort to really learning AI for you to create another income for yourself through the AI, who took your job, but now you got to adjust and adapt and learn how to use the AI to create income. Now you can do that from anywhere now. Before you just have to go to a physical building or whatever to get money. Now you can get money sitting at home, driving in the car, on the beach, online commerce, e-commerce, whatever, so many different ways. And AI is making all that easier because you can create a bot, and that bot can do a lot of those automated services for you. And then you're generating the income from that bot. He could be generating leads. The bot could be, handling sales, a slew of different things that the bot can do, and you can compensate from the bot handling all those tasks. So and that's AI. That's like an assistant. That's like if you having a secretary, treasurer, and all of that, you can get all of that in one bot, and then it's a little more cost efficient.
You create a bot to do a lot of things.
Everything.
Anything, right?
Yeah. It's just all about how you program the bot or prompt and that's just a new field that people can learn to,
learning code.
gain
You don't have to
income.
learn to program a bot.
No, you don't.
I know, like, ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. Then there's the other Copilot. That's on your Google Copilot.
Yeah.
And they interact with you. Like my Copilot, I told him the other day, stop calling me James. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we get out, hey, how you doing today? I said, I thought we had this discussion. You know what I'm saying? But I never told him what name to call me. You know what I'm saying? So we go back and forth every time I get on there. It's so funny. But these AI things and stuff like this, bots and stuff, like I know, like from using AI a little, like I use this stuff a little bit. I toy around with it, try to get, as much knowledge as I can and use it. So that I can at least help somebody else if they don't know something, and kind of explain it to them. Boom, this is how you do this. This is how you or try using that, because I was first told, hey, just ask this, that, just do this. And when you try to push people into, some people don't want you to push on them. You know what I'm saying?
They want to do it on their own time. Yeah.
Right. And see, well, not just that, because look, if your job, you think about it, if your job is telling you, look, we gotta, educate you on something so that you know what I'm saying, like you will still be able to be employed by, because we're gonna assume, you know what I'm saying, transition.
Downsize or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so um, but some people don't, they don't embrace that. They
No.
rather like to do it in their own time. I understand, but how much time do you think that these robots are going to wait before they move forward with the agenda that they've been programming? Right? You ain't
Yeah.
got
True.
time to wait
True.
for this. You got to get an understanding of it, and just know that like our generation is pretty much the guinea pigs, because once how we adapt as it's learning from us, as we adapt to it, and it, you know what I'm saying, like it's thinking for you now already. Like you don't even gotta like say what you want.
Yeah.
It's popping up on your phone.
Yeah. Even in your
You know what I'm
phone.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like when
already
you
popping
type in or
up.
whatever.
And it's this now. You said it's to make our life easier. So is it to take the thought process away? Like is it here to, when you want to make things easy for you, take the guesswork out of it. Let AI figure it out for you.
Basically, they're going to
And
AI
it'll
for a
make your
lot of
life,
solutions.
because
You
it's
don't know that
assistant
yet?
to what? Now I'm dumbing down. I'm not using my critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing I'm not doing a proper surveillance or knowledge uh, of everything that's around me to be able to come to some type of conscious determination what I need to be doing next. See what I'm saying? I'm not letting my you know the information I'm taking in
Hmm.
go to work.
Yeah.
I don't want me to work like that in that form. It'll think for me now, because I want to be able to see things
Well,
for
you
myself and then say. But see, it's so tricky now. The AI,
because the
you look
smart,
real.
but they've been doing it to us for the longest with the smartphones. Because remember back in the days, you used to remember everybody's phone number.
Yeah,
Now you don't remember nobody's phone number. I only remember like old numbers, like maybe my wife and my kids. Not all of my kids, I don't know, but a couple of their numbers and my parents' number. Like, but as far as like you used to know everybody's number off the because you didn't have, it was all in your head. You kept most of your numbers in your head and stuff, or you had a little black book or something. But now it's all in your phone. So
and not,
convenient,
not in your head.
not in your head. Exactly. Create technology, like technology is so much of a blessing and a curse. You like that's like I said, you're gonna gain one aspect to lose another one. You know, because with the AI, you might lose some jobs, but you're going to create other jobs at the same time. And you can create more like entrepreneurial jobs with the AI, where you don't necessarily have to be working for an employer or whatever. Like, back in the days, traditional, you go to school to go work for somebody else. Now it's different. You go to school, come out and work for somebody for a little while to gain like some real world knowledge of whatever you know topic you majored in or whatever in college. But after that, most of the time people is off starting their own stuff lately. You know, this generation or a lot of them are just starting their own businesses off the rip. You know, so it's a different mindset. But
What it, the young people today, man, they got it so good, man. They don't know they really have, they have a lot of endless avenues.
opportunities, yeah.
Yeah, endless avenues, man. They there's so many horizons for these kids that they, can just keep on accelerating, going higher and higher and higher if
Hmm.
they, kind of lock in. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably I would think, like, it's hard to get these young people's attention. It was hard to get our attention when we
Yeah,
were
it
young.
was. We hard
We
headed.
didn't want to listen to
They
the
don't want to
people,
listen, but we
to the old.
listen. We listen though. It's different. Like at least we would be respectful and listen, and eventually, someone planted the seed, and eventually, on your own time, you see that seed like manifest, like, oh, damn, this is what OG was talking about when he said such and such and such, but you try to talk to some of these young kids, they don't even want to listen. They just, ah, OG. I used to at least listen. I might feel like that, but I was respectful and then I listen. And then, a lot of times it won't sink in right there, but later on, when you run into that situation or similar situation, you see the reference like, oh, dang, this is what he was talking about. And hopefully it'll click sooner than later because, a lot of time OGs have good advice, you know.
Okay, well,
But
that's you know a lot of these young people today, man, they're gonna wish they, at one point gonna come, they're gonna wish they had some other older brothers that they, that had told them some stuff. So, it was just a blessing to have, to have those people around
yeah,
when we were growing up.
definitely.
A lot of people don't have that, you know.
Hmm.
These young guys, and they and not that they
They
want to
have it, but they don't
listen,
they don't recognize it or look for that.
but they don't. They see they can't. Maybe they're not. A lot of them will not be too. I'm thinking they're not going to. Maybe they won't regret. Oh, I didn't listen to somebody. They're gonna be like, man, I never got that game from an OG.
True,
You know what I'm saying? Because
true.
a lot of guys now, a lot of the older cats that's around us now, you know, few of them, they said a lot of us we failed a lot of the youth, coming up.
Yeah,
It was a lot of
I mean,
brothers did steer some of these young YNs in the wrong direction and stuff.
yeah, definitely.
They can't
But
be faulted for that because, of course, some of the stuff that in the time, what made the people at the time was what their circumstances were. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
everybody's circumstances changes over time. Some people started. I do kind of wish that there was some people that was in the back in the day that was around to give me some kind of game to put
hmm
me ahead. As
yeah.
far
When
as
they
the
at certain
far,
stages, when they seen you,
I,
going when at certain stages when they seen you going wayward, you wish you had somebody, smack you in your head like older brother or something like that.
oh yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
it wasn't that. So that's why they say like, oh man, they kind of failed us, but not necessarily so because it was always some. There was always some positivity in the circle, right? We always, if we were encouraging one another, but
Hmm.
and that's why I say circumstances around us. A lot of out here right now today, circumstances that surround some of these young boys, they're just on survival instincts right now. And
Hmm.
go back to a time I was in the same situation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Hmm.
if there was some positivity or some brother like Soapy and somebody what I mean that were older heads that would get your attention for a few minutes that what I'm saying you might listen to them then.
Hmm.
But before long, you was running and trying to survive after that. You going off and running and going. So a lot of these brothers today, young brothers today, you see, that's the same thing that they're going through. Same thing
Hmm.
we went through.
Yeah. I mean, I say that to say that the young, it's harder to reach some of the younger brothers, but some of them do want to listen. Is just so when I'm out and about, I just speak whatever. Whoever gonna gravitate. Whoever's not, then it's not for them.
Yeah.
But as long as I do my duty, I gotta try and teach the truth. I'm just not gonna let you sit there and tell a lie in my face. You know, so
So anyway, transparency. You know what I'm saying? When you're being transparent, you're coming with the truth, and you're letting them know, hey, this is what it is. All right, and you take it for it's the same thing. Like you can't force feed nobody, but you give them an opportunity. Say, look, man, you can either choose this right or wrong. You can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have an abundance, but you know, when you're doing that, you're giving somebody, when you're giving them the, you know, the game,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just right now it's crazy because we're trying to open people's eyes to, you know, this generational wealth transfer, all the opportunities that, you know, we might have never had, which will have a small window of time to really take advantage of. So, in the overall scheme of things, we fighting still right now. You know what I'm saying? Uphill. We didn't never really have advantage. You know, to, you know, if there was, like you said, somebody would have told me about such and so earlier, but then nobody know. That's when you at a disadvantage because we don't have the, you know what I'm saying? We don't have the understanding or
Yeah.
the knowledge. You know,
It
you know
wasn't
what I'm
in our
saying?
it wasn't in our cipher at
Yeah,
that time.
we know, we, you know, we're still opening up our eyes to things that, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying, we otherwise would have been just looking at and not having an understanding of what we're looking at. You know,
We're looking at it in the wrong way.
it's in it now. We're in a time of an awakening. You know, we're in a time of an awakening for a lot of people. So we, you know, we see that. We see people that I see it. I see how, you know, even myself, I wake up to more things that, you know, it's like another horizon. Dang, I didn't even know that was even a thing.
He
You
existed,
know,
right? Yeah, facts.
and when it
Facts.
happens, you gotta tell somebody. You gotta, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You gotta reciprocate. I feel like I gotta
You gotta spread the
reach my
wealth.
brother over here and say, yeah, even the young,
Yeah.
even especially the young ones.
Yeah, you can't hoard your science, man. You can't hoard your knowledge. You know, knowledge is to be shared. You know, that's the only way
Well,
you're
yeah,
gonna manifest wisdom to make understanding. You know, you gotta share it, right? Mm-hmm.
well, that's the Transparency Act. That's a Transparency Act. That's like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, like the that's just being transparent.
That's it.
You know, we want to be transparent because, you know, with all truths being known, you know what I'm saying. There's wisdom there, you know. So you know, we have an obligation and a duty to try to educate ourselves and to educate others.
That's
You
our
know,
duty.
that's our obligation. That's our duty.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Blockchain technology, which is the new cryptocurrency or whatever, which is new financial
Infrastructure, digital
infrastructure
ledger
of
of the banking system. You know, that's shit.
let, let, let,
A
let, let,
digital a
let,
digital
let me
ledger.
hear it, man. Let me hear it.
What?
Let
That's
me hear it. Let me hear it. I need to know.
the new
I need
infrastructure of the digital banking system. You know, the blockchain ledger. Any transaction on the blockchain, you can go on, you can track it, you can see. You know, it's all transparent. You know, you can see where it originated and where it ended. So it's nothing better than to have transparency. You know, to know what's going on without is it transparency without what's the word I'm looking for? Um, without being so much like bogarted or forced into it. You know, it's just a smooth flow of transparency, not like a government mandated type of thing and stuff. So, but it's the new wave.
so that. Hold on, man. I I'm having a hard. I can hear you, but I'm gonna try to put this in so I can see
Okay.
if I can hear you. You let me know if you can hear me.
Mhm.
Say something. Can you say something?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you sound
Yeah,
fine.
say something.
Yeah, you sound fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that sound. I can hear you better now. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Hmm.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. pretty much better.
So I'm
Um,
watching, looking at Bloomberg now. They're talking about a Bitcoin company, not a treasury. So like Bitcoin financial services, they man, it's a it's a whole new way of banking, thinking, everything, man. It's just crazy.
they have all of this new technology. Uh,
The thing is, you got
then
the AI that's gonna come together with the quantum computing because they need the quantum computing to be able to go with the AI, and then we're gonna be on a whole new power grid, or because now with all the data centers need so much energy that the traditional electrical grid, they can't handle all the info and everything that the AI needs to function properly. So that's really
yeah,
basically the next real dilemma, really, kind of, you know. So
and
that's why a lot of stuff is going. They're trying to fit everything into the nuclear, because nuclear is a little more cost efficient, and you can get it's more you can save and store more. I don't understand exactly how, but through using the nuclear energy, I guess you can save more data, or so a lot of things is going trying to go nuclear. When they're talking about nuclear plants, not so much for bombs and stuff, but for storing energy.
well, they didn't. I must really messed up with that battery that he came out with because they can't even get rid of those. You
The
know,
battery,
that yeah, and that's a problem when you know you can't get rid of them. But
but
there's
they
no.
reusable, right?
Well, I don't honestly. I heard it. They burying them things in the ground or something. They gotta bury
Mm.
them, or it's like bringing it to a landfill, bringing a battery. Am I talking too loud?
No, you go.
Okay. It's like if you go to a landfill somewhere, they usually. Cause I used to take that stuff. I used to work for cops. You take all the stuff and it's burying. And that's going to be the next big thing too. Going into these landfills where there's all this, there's tons and tons and tons
Hmm.
of gold, precious metals, dairy, tons of it in the landfill, right? Silver,
Really? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
old computer parts, you know what I'm saying? Old electronic parts. So all the minerals, all those precious metals, they'll go dig that stuff up out the ground and somebody will actually take and extract all of the precious metals, whether it's from hard drives that are broken, old cell phones, old old toys, old watches, anything, all that metal, precious that's buried in these landfills it's going to become a big thing because you know those resources, and then they turn a lot of that stuff back into power. That
Yeah, that's
trash.
what I'm saying. It's reusable.
Yeah, so they'll and they've been on it. Recycle, reduce, reuse.
Hmm.
So it got people into recycling many years ago, and they built these um, landfills where they were
Hmm.
recycling, stockpiling for years. Um, like I don't say combustible energy, but you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff, it can be turned into energy. You know what I'm saying? They can go harness everything that they stocked over there. It's trash, and they can turn that into energy. So all of these
Wow,
landfills
that's what
are
they.
they've been it's like a big time holding facility. You know what I'm saying, for waste, but it's not waste. It's renewable.
Renewable energy, yeah. But I mean, basically, like the whole time what they've been doing with the landfills and stuff is thinking of ways to reuse it. Recycle the plastic, recycle this, recycle. Try and get multiple uses out of it. But I don't know what it is about the nuclear. I don't know if it's cost efficient versus the electricity, or is able to hold more data or storage, because the AI and quantum computing, they need a lot of storage. Need a lot of storage, because you sending it a lot of data. You have to take that data and differentiate or do all these calculations or whatever. So it's using a lot of energy. And they're saying
A
that
lot of,
if we try and the grids and stuff that we have now is already struggling. So for all this
yeah.
new, AI, however, I don't know how it uses so much energy, but I guess the machine learning, large language models, and they already recording everything that we do and say and stuff, and feeding it to the AI so they could be more and more human. So
Huh.
you know,
I mean, the last thing I want to do is be uh, at a disadvantage when it comes to um, a computer, or what I'm saying, a robot, or what I mean. Like now, it,
thing is, they got the humanoid robots. You won't even be able to tell it's a freaking robot.
but the crazy thing about it is, as much as I don't want to be at a disadvantage with these people, I am. You
Gotta
know
learn
what
how
I'm
to use
saying?
it.
I gotta get the. It's like a joystick to a daggone video game.
Like an
Just come out.
excavator,
You got
anything.
you got to be able to get in
Jump in
there,
it and play with it. Yeah,
learn it, and then
that's it.
maximize what it is. By maximizing, using every day the same skills that you know is maximizing. Because once you learn it and you learn it in and out through and through, you don't get out and walk away from it. Now you got to go maximize it. Now it's got
because
to continue to,
because
be functional.
a lot of the AI that we know now is mostly like software and stuff like that. Now,
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying, once once
Windows,
once once
Windows.
it's yeah, once it steps into like Chat GPT, Copilot, all that. But once it steps into to the robots and the humanoid robots, that's in the physical realm of the AI actually, being 3D with you. Because right now it's only 2D, basically, in the computer. It's not in that third dimension. That robots is creating a whole another dimension of dealing with the AI. So,
Mm.
and you're gonna have to know how to operate in, with the AI, or because it's gonna be taking jobs and stuff, but it's still gonna need a human factor. Still gonna need a human factor as far as maybe touch or programming, or some sort of way. Because it's still a
So this is
machine. It's still a
so.
machine.
Let me ask you this: you said it's in 3D form when it becomes a robot. Now, interaction with us is that? I mean, I'm thinking it's already to that.
Yeah. Shit, they talking about
Or not
people
just
marrying robots. They talking about
yeah,
people
I know
marrying robots.
that's 5D now because now you're gonna what I'm saying, interact with it now. Came to another. So now
that's
how we get to the
that's
5D?
8D.
That's because once what is it what how would you how you get there? You gotta have a laser to what I'm saying. Uh,
Shit crazy.
once the 3D object shoots its laser into you, now you're impregnated, and then your 4D will come out, and then 5D is
Yeah.
that one goes and interacts with the quantum system, helps to kind of um, uh, reduce or recycle, what I'm saying, for sustainability, right?
If they ever create one of these robots that can have a baby, it's gonna be a wrap.
That's 5D. Then it jumps to, I'm saying, it might jump to good 4Ds in there because then they're going to be generations now. So you know
You're
what I
gonna
mean?
be 8D, man.
8D now. They would be making all kind of. They just touch you, high five, you get paid. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's it.
From just for connection, like they got to a point where they, because there's that.
The
You
thing
know
is
what I'm saying?
with this robotics and with this AI, they got this shit called ubiquitous AI, where you can get paid off of each task that the AI knows how to do. Like, so you can say when you first get the AI, it knows how to do 4 tasks. Every 6 months or so, it learns 4 more
Uh,
tasks.
yeah,
So you can get
I
paid
heard
off
about
of each task that it knows how to do. After a few years, it might know how to do 1,000 tasks because every 6 months it doubles. So start off four is the eight, eight is the 16, 16 is the 32, 32 is the 64. That's how many tasks it learns, like I guess like every 6 months of stuff. And then you will be able to get paid off of the tasks that the AI does. Like say he could be doing tasks for some business out west wherever, but whatever tasks are performed, you making something off of it because
and that's like that was your what is it? Is your AI or is
that's
it
your
your
bot,
robot?
or yeah, your
Right.
AI, that's your bot. You know what I'm saying? So boom,
You get the benefit from
you get the
what it learns.
benefit from
That's
it. Hmm.
that's like having a kid that go to college, makes something, makes it, graduates, becomes successful, and take care of his parents. Well,
Exactly.
that's the like, why can't the kids just do that? Why we gotta create robots to do it?
Mhm. The kid's gonna
Why we ain't
control
do
it,
it, man?
so the kid's gonna control it. So it's the same shit.
Well, and they done, like
I mean,
it's a genius
it's
idea.
all a thought right now, but it can be manifest, man. The
Of
technology,
course, of course,
if it could be a
of course.
thought, it could be manifest. That's
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
yeah, definitely. Once, once, once you, especially once you write it down, 'cause, see, that's taking it from being thought to putting on paper.
Paper,
Then the
yeah,
next, you know, it
is
manifests
making it
from there.
happen. Yeah.
It's all about you staying, persistent and following through with everything that you wrote down.
Hmm.
You already visualize it, and you put it on paper. So it manifests after that. You know,
It's crazy.
that's how
Crazy
that's how
how
it's done.
powerful visualization is, man. In the mental, and then you make it manifest physically. That's power, man.
Well, this is what they don't want. They want to keep you. You know what I'm saying? A large part,
From
in a
believing you
large
don't have that power. Yeah.
that saying that people don't have the type of critical thinking skills, and that's why some jobs they taking them away because they're like, first of all, these are jobs that require skill and thought. They're all a lot of them will be replaced by a better thinking. You know what I'm saying? Think tank, or what I mean,
Yeah.
a program, from some sort of a program that is better thinking, like a critical type of thinking.
Hmm.
Can either cut down on the time or just kind of reduce costs. They're always looking at the reduced cost. You know, so that they can speed up demand. Because when you got a bunch of guys that are kind of not hitting those numbers all the time, because maybe slow down on this end over here, but not on that end. They're down there waiting for these guys over here to pick up the pace. Remember that time we were doing that roof and started up on the roof?
What happened?
Remember that time we were doing that roof, that flat roof in New Haven?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Remember, it was like everybody was they were competing against some guys.
Yeah.
We were doing. It was like kind of a competition. Like, yeah, they got
Yeah.
all that stuff. We so
Hmm.
sometimes you got to slow down when it's manpower.
Yeah, yeah.
Production doesn't always stay, what I'm saying, at peak. We
No.
worked in a printing company before, you and I.
Hmm.
We used to run a printing press.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I had to keep up on the other end with you. And every once in a while, I see a bunch of paper flying all up over the place. I'm like, "Good, the machine's broke because I can't keep up with you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it works. That's how it works out here, like with technology and stuff and the adoption. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
It's
um,
coming. You know, the
it
vision,
takes
the vision was there, and now it's pushing, it's pushing,
right.
and now the resistance was the central banking and the institutions because they so used to getting all making billions and billions off the fees and stuff. But when you bring inclusion to more people, you're gonna make more money anyway. You're gonna make more money. So
Well, but yeah, not to really, it's tough. The government, this government, they shot themselves in the foot as far as what I'm saying, keeping up with, not keeping up, um, not keeping up with the digital, um,
digital race, really,
yeah, the
can't.
evolution. They call it the fifth industrial evolution,
Yeah.
right? They find themselves having fallen behind other nations when it comes to adopting or using. Because China used to always be creating robots long before.
What?
I'm not saying long before, but they were. I guess they always had the better robots. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But it's something
The better
about that.
technology. They always had the. They always was up on the technology. But the thing
And if
is,
you go,
the thing is, the U.S. is so much world oriented. You can't exclude no country because every nation is here in the U.S. So the best thing to do is try and work with them.
hmm,
You know, everybody's scared to work with China, talking about we're trying to keep China, U.S. secrets and all this. It's one world. We got one Earth. It's only humans on here. So why can't we work with them? There should be no reason why we can't work with them for the technology that's going to benefit all the humans. We're in a race against China. China's in a race against the US, but we all humans. Like the technology is going to benefit everybody. You know, I don't
I think
understand
that
why you trying to hide stuff or be negative against China when you want to be cool with Putin when that's the same. It's the same thing, basically.
well, now all of a sudden, that's because you get different leaders of nations that have that relationship, and then now they're cool. But going back, I think that um, the funding of some of the nations outside of the U.S. were with United States money. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think that the United States did pour money into to help develop an underdeveloped nation, and so um, they've taken that. Other nations have taken that money and they've run laps around the United States.
Yeah, that's the whole
They sent
reason the tariffs.
yeah, they sent their best and most smartest people once they got started. Excuse me. Uh, they sent their smartest people, and they got educated by America here in America. And then, of course, they
Hmm.
went home and they used that to help build, uh, because of exclusion. They did not have, you know, some of the education or the funding. So they had to come here to get it. Then when they took it back, you know, they were so far behind. They know that they were like, man, look, we got to go even harder and, take and, you know, expand or expound on what we've learned. Uh, but I think too, like when it comes to the race for Like that's like they want to be the first ones to be into go into space or set up some type of a space station or or be the first one to land on a different planet.
Mhm.
When we think and we talk about this, like, oh man, that stuff really ain't got nothing to do with my life or affect my life right now today. You know, maybe 5 years ago you could say that
Yeah.
and nobody would be like, yeah, you right, no, you wrong. Now you think about like if you- everything that nations, these governing nations are doing is all to get to a dominance that is more dominant than the U.S.'s dominance.
Yeah.
Whether
And
that's in space discovery, economic reform, um, engineering and infrastructure of the,
hmm
what I'm saying, build or their agriculture, their food is better. Everything is always to be better than, the United States. And we let a lot of them, we not only did we educate, and I'm not saying we shouldn't have educated and didn't let them come here, but we educated these people. Now you can't be mad at them, but at the same time, why fall asleep at the wheel? Punish your own who are trying to keep up in this race.
hmm
And you know what I'm saying? Like innovation, basically, they shot themselves in the foot by trying to stop,
The crypto.
a technology that come along. You know what I mean?
You. Hey, you bring me a pen? I don't got a pen in here. A pen? You want me to sign this or something? Oh. So what do I need to do now? Yes. Photo ID, tax ID number. Mhm. What I gotta do? Make a copy of my ID, and where do I write all of this stuff? Oh, I gotta up. With me and Monty. I remember I had given. I know I gave her stock before. Yeah. So I gotta upload my ID, upload my social security card too. Huh? Oh, okay. But which amount is it? Oh yeah, I see. I saw two. I was like, hold on. Yeah, close. Shit, I hope so. Yeah, I ain't gonna get excited. Me. Yo. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yo, can you hear me? Oh, your battery died. You hear me?
On my nerves. I don't look like I'm really talking.
Rex. No, I can hear you fine. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, you buffering?
I don't know what happened. It's still up there though.
Hmm.
Well, the, the United States is well the SEC, but you got all these old people in Congress, like like they definitely did not want to see even the old people that are legacy banking system and stuff like that. They never really wanted to. They don't want once they see now even still in the beginning it was just like oh this is not enough. It's new and it's still got to grow. It's not enough. Not even hardly the amount of money that's going to get the attention of our clients. In the market. And that's good. That's understandable because when something is new, it's just like an IPO. Man, it takes time before you know ICO when something just comes out, or there's the boom and all the money is made. So people are saying, well, Wall Street's going to bring the money in. Those
Hmm.
big hedge funds, all the big industrial commercial guys, they're going to bring in that real money. That that big, it's going to really go to being the number one asset class in the the digital or tokenization of all assets. Not just digital assets. You can't talk about digital assets without fundamental that is tokenization.
Hmm. The real world asset.
Yeah, but they had put a good they did well. What they did was a lot of them they're sitting on the sideline waiting for regulation, of course, because that's what smart money can't do. Before they pour in hundreds of billions and money, trillions, quadrillions. We're gonna be the big, big money coming in. And so then you see these assets in markets really reflect the price, the true price. The prices you see today are not the true value, evaluation because you know it's not regulated properly. They're still bringing
Hmm.
regulation to a market that's you know, still new. Man, like I said, it's like a baby. It's coming. They're giving birth to this financial system. So imagine once it reaches a process, you know, uh, growth and then we say earning, but learning, because then it learns every 4 6 months. Once it real, once these assets realize, once the real potential or the real value is realized, the earnings or the growth or you know what I'm saying, all of that, it's gonna be so
Mm-hmm.
astronomical, man. People to be able to conceive like, wow, you mean to tell me this thing is only such so cost at one point in time? Yeah, yeah, you could. Oh, yeah, you know? And early adopters are going to become generational. They don't have generation. They'll have an abundance. And it's really it's a, it's a crazy thing to even think of how much they're going to make on an ROI on a small amount still put you right over the top. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. It's coming
Mm-hmm. Can't stop it.
because it's grown so much further than when it was created, like in the garage somewhere or whatever. Yeah, I guess whoever developed it or wherever it was developed, it
Mm-hmm.
has grown so much from that inception. You have it written down. Test the phase. The first actual transaction recorded. You know what I'm saying? The first time it was actually used and solidified and actually cashed out and you know what I mean, used and bought. It is money. It is actual. You know, so it's come such a long way since then. This digital or tokenization or crypto or whatever it is because you got nations like heads of countries and stuff now buying this stuff as putting money into it to be able to hedge you know against inflation or money that well we want to have this as a stock reserve that we hold in.
Yeah.
Like that's
She
come
got
a long way.
treasuries, all that shit.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
come such a
crypto,
long way.
Bitcoin, treasuries. Then they got the American Bitcoin Trust. Hold on. ABCT. No. Hold on. Dang, I can't. I got. It's something. No,
The
it's
ABCC.
it's the United States Crypto Reserve USCR, and then it's American Bit is ABCT. I think it's
Oh,
American Bitcoin
Bitcoin Trust.
Trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they're just creating this. They're just
Yeah,
creating
they
this
just
stuff.
creating new ones. Hold on.
They're creating it and making it.
Oh no, it's AB ABTC is just American Bitcoin. That's Eric Trump. That's Trump's son. That's his one of his coins. They got the wo-
He got
the
his own
World
coin.
Liberty Financial, and then they got the Bitcoin Treasury stock, which is on the market. It's XXI. I gotta look that up. And then they got WFI. That's another coin. And they got this what's his name? Elon Musk got that Starlink or that IntelliStake um IPO is about to come out with that Starlink.
Darling.
Hmm. It's like the and what the IntelliStake is, it's like a whole bunch of freaking satellites in space, and what they do is it's something to do with the crypto where they staking and fetch. I got the article. I gotta send it to you. I meant to send that to you before. I gotta find it because I know I saved it, but that's it's deep. It's deep. It's talking about the future of staking and how they're gonna be using it, and it's also about the data centers because what it is, I think, is IntelliState is data centers out in space already. So it's not even using a lot of the energy from on the Earth. Yeah, IntelliState, yo, look that up, yo. That's a new
And
that's a new yeah. Intel Intel state, but it's you say IntelliState. hmm And then it's a the Starlink is an IPO supposed to be coming out, and they're talking about is Starlink is the new internet, the Wi-Fi out in space, so it's continuous Wi-Fi, and the fund they got an ETF that they started for this one. It's called DXYZ, Destiny Tech 100 Fund, and it's Open AI is in there, and it's a Epic Games, a few different other companies in that ETF, and that shit is only like $1 and some change, You know what I'm saying? And I think you get dividend and all of that shit. Because I got a few dividend stocks I've been researching too, trying to get some of them dividends.
Dividend stocks, yeah, dividend stocks is
It's like the same thing as staking, like almost,
yeah. Anytime
getting
you
a
get a
return.
dividend stock, yeah, you want to you want to go ahead and grab that because I'll take the dividends and the upward, appreciation of the asset.
Yep.
And if the market's correct and it comes down, you still get your dividends.
Still get your dividend.
You can never go wrong with anything that's going to pay you a dividend. That's money in the bank. There's money in the bank, regardless of what the market's doing. So those are definitely choices.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. You find some good ones.
Yeah. I'm telling you, and I'll be feeding this stuff to me and my son. I'm trying to get him on that, that business, like how you got Issa and them on that business. I try to keep him on. Just if I drop the seed, because it's all about dropping the seed. They're gonna do what you're gonna do, but you got to plant the seed, and then eventually, it'll start to sprout, in their thoughts, and when it starts to come together, like, oh, this is what he was talking. Dang, like I thought my dad was bugging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because sometimes they're not receptive a lot of the times because, like you in Chinese,
they got so much other stuff going on and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff going on, and one of the big things our job is to bring this information to them because we can't force things onto them. But like I was telling you the other day, and so many people, not just the kids, your son, my son, you know, people, they, like I was saying, man, when they're trying to tell you, hey, man, learn some tech, learn some this, learn some that. If it's not threatening them directly, they're not going to feel like it's anything that they have to pay interest in, give any time or any attention to because there are other things going on. Yeah. The minute it becomes a threat to you, now it may get your attention, but for how long? Because you're like, well, screw this job. I'm going to move on, so I don't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is something that we have to do. We have to learn to become financially literate about the new financial system. We may not need to know about all of these different new up and coming, IPOs. It's good to get that information too, to be in a circle where you're getting, I had a lawyer once ask me, do you have any insights? Because I was telling the lawyer about Bitcoin back in the day. My lawyer, right? My personal injury lawyer.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Bitcoin. No, and I said, do you have any, any stocks? And I was like,
that's all you care about.
Yeah, he wanted to know about the stock trading and all that. And then, he was like, he said, yeah, I this and that, and blah, blah, blah. He said, what's your insight? What's your insight? I think I told him, I said, yeah, cannabis stocks. Which one? Which one? Do you have an inside? Where do you get your info from? So we all, and see, even for those people, they stay in the circle, but they know that somebody's going to have some insider trading information. And if I could tap into that guy, he becomes, you know what I'm saying, to where I get my info from, and I stay linked in with this guy. And, it's like, okay, so for the kids, we need to be that for them in terms of this financial the new financial system. Because unless we go into learning from these kids, they got to come learn from us. You know what I'm saying? It could be a
Hmm.
two-way street. We can learn
Definitely.
from them because they know how to get
Definitely.
on the computer and link it and connect it
Yeah,
and
they're
do
more
that. And
savvy
get
with it.
somebody. Yeah, they can do it so quick. But then
Hmm.
if we spit the game to them because it's like, hey, stuff like this right here makes sense. This is just hype. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, I'm like not telling you what to do,
I
but
tell
I'm
them
gonna
to do
give
their
you my
research. I said, when I
right. I'm
put
gonna
this
give you
stuff to you,
my
yeah, do your research on it so you can understand it for yourself. Because that's
yes
the same way
because
you should be investing into stocks and stuff. You can't just invest
anyway,
in
because
stocks
that's your
because you
brand.
hear the hype. You got to go in and do your own research on the company, to make sure,
Mhm.
because everybody got their own mindset, their own thoughts. You might see the company in this light, and then I might see the company in another light. But you might not have taken the time to go doing the research in the background on the company. When I did take the time to go do the research, and I say, it's been profitable. It's been in business 5 years. It's only been profitable a year. So it has potential. So it could be. So then I just keep monitoring it, and then sometimes you gotta just bite the bullet and put a little $100, $200 on and see what it do. If it's something new. You know, but you gotta always do your own
Yeah, you got
research.
no,
You know.
you got to be able to, well, for any like for anybody. I would tell it's you want to minimize any type of risk that you may take when you go to make any type of initial investment anyway. And this is not financial advice. This is entertainment purposes and educational purposes. You want to go buy, trade, or sell, or
Say the
hold, or
disclaimer, right?
anything. Because we up here talking about these. But what we're doing is just giving you kind of a little bit of a strategy or an approach to what we do, how we do things, and then we minimize the smart money is is moving this way. So you want to minimize whatever risk you may take in a market where you can lose it rather than
Yes.
you just jump all in feet first and
Yeah.
then
So you
find
want to
out
move
later,
with the
that
smart money.
that wasn't a smart move. You know what I'm saying? So you want to do some research. Now, with regard to like the new financial system, and getting the kids on board and telling them, and they're just saying, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna check into this. I'm gonna look into these things. I'll open up this wallet or I'll open up this access. We need to make sure that they understand that we I'm not we are not I'm not saying don't use centralized exchange
Hmm.
because you do have to have a centralized exchange um, when you have these assets because when you want to cash in, you know, well, that's kind of not really going to be a in stone thing because they're moving now towards once once the stable coin clarity, it's the actual clarity is
It's coming.
once it's once it's passed and written into law. I think they did pass it. They have to write it or something. I think they're waiting for that new Fed chair. All that's going to pretty much come together around the same time. The timing on these things are very critical, and so uh, with that, they're going to make uh, you know make it so you don't really have to use an exchange. You literally can be a self. You
Custodian.
can be your own bank, your own custodian. You can, through that whoever custodianship that you so choose when you're facilitating these assets, you can choose to opt into the Visa network system for a cash out or
Yeah.
for a means that you may. want to um, take something off of the top, right, or decrease a position. That's what you're doing.
Hmm.
You do not need to go and actually, be at a bank or at a, using
Yeah.
an
No,
exchange. But that's once, but
because
that's once
you can
you
buy
are.
in. No, I'm
I
saying
mean,
because you could buy
I'm telling.
you can buy and swap and stuff right from your cold wallet. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So
you can do that.
you don't necessarily need the exchange. Once you get the exposure and you hold the asset, you can always get to buy and sell or swap or whatever right from the cold wallet. So I mean, exchanges are there really just for kind of like onboarding, getting people exposure and getting them into it. But of course, as time progresses, it's gonna be easier and easier ways to get onboarding and stuff.
But everybody doesn't. I mean, yeah, it is going to become easier and easier to get onboarded, but everybody is not going to go the route uh, of a centralized exchange because
Hmm.
they don't want to run the risk of losing or forgetting or misplacing,
Breach or a
um, you
hack or
know,
something. Hmm.
yeah, a wallet or their
Recovery
the
phrase
private
and all that.
keys
But I mean,
and,
that's all
and
part of the technology. If you want to keep your stuff secure, you gotta put it in a secure place. You know,
and that's all part of the education and getting knowledge, and that's why we're here to make sure that we can
that's
bring
that's the first thing I
awareness
asked my
to.
son. I said, "Yo, did you store your recovery phrase? You got to store it in multiple places. Man. You can't just have it in one place, but only places that you know. You know,
And see, I told, and like I told you, my son. Um, well, I think he does Robinhood
hmm
for with his crypto,
okay,
but he's on a prop firm or something like that when he does the leverage trading because he trades
yeah,
uh,
you know,
the dollar index, he trades that, trades
yeah,
the index, and so these different
options, right?
yeah, all that stuff. So
Contract, futures
but I'm like,
contracts and
man,
stuff. Hmm.
yeah, I thought, that's great. I'm proud of you for that. For getting to where you're investing, putting your money to work for you. Because if otherwise you didn't do it, you'd be almost wiped out with the inflation because the income. And he makes good money, but he ain't got no kids. Like when they talk about how people's income is not keeping up with the cost of inflation, it's those kids also may not be affecting them as bad because they don't have their own residence. They probably still live at home. They don't have kids. They don't have all of the
Hmm.
extra baggage and stuff. But these kids need to be the ones that have expensive phones. You know what I'm saying? The expensive cars. So then when they got to pay their bills, they're getting they unless they're making good money, these kids are they're getting just as hit you know on a regular when that phone bill is due. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, so we're really at uh, most of us we have to put our money to work outside of just going to
Hmm.
work. And that is the way the new economy works. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. So the math ain't math. Of course, the math is not mathing in the economy
The
in
math
this
is not
economic climate.
mathing.
No, you're not making that take home ain't mathing when you talking about, you know what I'm saying? life, liberty, and a pursuit of, you know what I'm saying, any kind of smiley face. You have to do. The math is not math. Like you almost have to be an entity, a business owner. You have to have, you know, money coming in that is made through, you know, business channels to make it in today's society. Um, two income household still struggling. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is up. So two incomes
Everything.
in the house, it doesn't meet the, you know, the requirements.
Still a
Like
struggle.
so, the math, yeah, the math is not mathing. Even with two, you know, gainfully employed, you know, incomes, it doesn't. You got to leverage some credit. You know what I'm saying? You got to be not just having two incomes. You got to also take those two incomes and be and be leveraging credit to
Hmm.
make it today. You know what I'm saying? And that means they've stretched that money out so much that even for, you know, your middle working class two uh, income still are will fall behind when it comes to being able to sustain the, you know, the average status of, you
Hmm.
know, income, minimum income or medium income household. It's crazy to think that you literally have to leverage what you make and stretch it as far as you can with a credit system and
Yeah.
be always in debt and not being able to get from up under it, and that's the norm.
Yeah. Shit's crazy.
The only way to beat that is to invest your and guys have to invest, and that starts with like the heads of the household. Then you have to teach to the younger ones. You guys got to invest your money now. It's not no longer that you, like we can't think like this is a summer job. Any job is a job that is going to allow you to be able to survive out here. It's
Hmm.
because people are in survival mode with their earnings. You know, if there's people that's doing the lavish vacations and stuff, they caked up. They got other sources of income, and you know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, we're still doing it, but you know, I bet you they're feeling it, right? Because they're using the credit. Gotta be, unless they just cash rich. And you know, most people that are cash rich, they pretty much don't go around and well, I'll tell you one thing, they ain't shopping in the most expensive places like us people that don't got the money. They can wear we choose to kind of always shop. They can't shop it there. Not
Nah.
at all. They never shop there. They never shop it there. Ever.
Hmm.
So it's just a new way, a new thinking, a new uh, money is moving differently these days. I mean, transparency, um, you know, swapping in and out of currency. You know, that is a phenomenal thing.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that on the low?
What? What
Swapping
happened?
in and out of there. Did you come up with
Swapping in
how
and out
to
of them currencies.
how you come up with that? I'm gonna
Yo,
swap this for that.
that's the that's the that's the like that's the that's like another thing I love about the crypto, man. You could swap in and out of currencies like nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jump on a different ecosystem and you know, buy something different, like, you know, using a totally different coin or currency or like Forex or whatever, Shit is crazy.
That's like a feature that only bankers or something were allowed to be able to do. Like, okay, I have your 100K value, and I'm going to send it over to, you know, a ruble for you, and you'll be able to
But
just spend it once you get
and
the
what's so
original amount.
dope is that like you could go country to country with your crypto, but like you know how when you transfer your dollar over to Jamaica, you know, it's worth more over there. But like with
Mm.
crypto, it's kind of like equal. Like you know, what I'm saying if you go over to Jamaica and they take your XRP, it's gonna be whatever the value of the XRP is at that time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a discount or a transition, you know, from one currency to another currency.
Oh, from the exchange,
Yeah. No, like if you
like from the
like say I'm in Jamaica and I want to buy something and they take XRP or Bitcoin or whatever. It's not like you have to transfer it over into Jamaican dollars or whatever. You just transferring currency to like coin to coin, you know, right there, same swap basically. There's no you know currency whatever fee or whatever it is and shit. Because some countries you go to the dollar and the dollar ain't worth nothing, you know, like
oh, the money is not worth it, or the dollar.
you transfer your dollar, you go like over to England and you got to pay them $1.25, $1.30 to get a dollar. You know, you got to give them more US dollars than it is to get one of their pounds and shit or whatever. I went to Grand Cayman Islands. That shit was like that. I was like, what?
Oh, you got to give them more. I think the Cayman Islands. Jackie, I went over there
Yeah.
on a. I went over there on a cruise, man.
Mm-hmm. That's where we was. I was on a cruise and I went over there.
Yeah, we had to get off the. We didn't take the boat. They took a little. We got off the cruise. If there was a boat that came out to the cruise ship,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to kind of go over on. I was a little worried, like, yo, this thing all right? This safe? And then when that little boat brought us on the island, I was like, man. And I was over there looking. I went over there, walked around, and I saw a bank. And I was like, I want
Mm-hmm.
this one of them banks where people come and be hiding all their money at. It was right in the town, man. I said, look at this, man. This is one of them banks, man. They always say offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
So they hold crypto over there too, right?
Yeah.
You put some crypto in there too.
Yep.
I'm working with these guys today. This cool guys over here. All this time I've been sitting here, man. Ding, ding, ding. I don't
All
even
that
think we're
time,
gonna
what?
wind up doing. All this time I've been sitting here, they're just getting started. Just getting started. It's all good though. You know what? There's certain times when we can't do nothing out here because DOT regulations can't mess around and stop traffic and stuff. So
Or
yeah, you gotta show up and be on site for a while, and then while they getting all the cones out here, waiting for even the weather to warm up and stuff. Sometimes they transporting uh, some equipment and stuff. They won't start until they got all the equipment here. But that stuff is either already on site or they bringing it out to us. And this is not the type of area neighborhood where it's like it's really nice out here.
oh shit, it's nice.
Big old, nice
What the
house out here.
hell?
A big old cul-de-sac, a big old nice house,
Mm-hmm.
nice neighborhood.
That shit nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a big neighborhood. This place is huge.
Mm-hmm.
They got a YMCA that they built for this. So if they built a YMCA out there, I already tell you what time.
In the community?
They got daycare. Yeah, it's a whole community. It's like a city, bro.
Man, why this
Like
shit
a
won't
daggone
work
city.
for me?
So she coming out from out of nowhere, that lady. But she come out the woods. Must be coming. She got a little kid. She probably bring from the daycare. I wouldn't doubt it.
Ain't no
So
telling.
what do you think the XRP is gonna do, bro? Do you think it's gonna go to the moon or this year? Or what number? I mean, I hear a lot of people have these crazy price projections and stuff because you're always saying I hear a lot of talk about the price of certain cryptos. This is gonna go to this price. This is gonna go to this price. Ethereum
Mm-hmm.
$15,000 this year. Solana 20,000. I believe that XRP can go to at least $100. I do believe it because look at what Solana just did, like a little over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from between 18 $20. I mean, it didn't even take 12 months, and that thing was almost 300
Two,
bucks
yeah,
from like
two and some
10, 12
change.
of
Yeah.
yeah. So I literally was like, wow, and they move so fast.
Yeah, out of
Say you
nowhere.
watching the charts. You could be
That
watching
should
the
have shoot
charts
that
all
should have
day.
shoot up. It'll shoot up like that right in your face, man. You could be watching the charts and that shit.
Oh
Still
yeah,
look
but
like
that's why when you're looking at them, I paid. When I look at the market cap, I look at the market cap and see, okay, the market cap and then the 24-hour trading value.
mm-hmm.
The market cap could be 100K. 24-hour trading value could be 15,000. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then you look at the chart and see, well, the price comes down. So in the last 24 hours, I'm sorry, not 15,000, 15 million, 15 million. So if the price comes down, you look at the chart and say, okay, well, within the last 24 hours, because there was been 15 million in the last 24 hours, we got a market cap of 100 million. I'm looking at the last 24 hours, the chart for the last 24 hours, still volatile, but it's showing that we're down uh, maybe 1.7%.
Mm-hmm.
1.7% may be 10 to 15 million if the total market cap is 100 million. Right? Right there, it should be 10. If it's 100 million, then the total market cap, if the total market cap is 100 million, you're down 15 million in the last 24 hours, that's 10%. Or is
Mm-hmm.
it 1%?
If you say what?
Like if it's down 10 million with a total market cap of 100 million, and it's down 10 million
That's 10
in the last
percent.
24 hours,
That's 10%.
that's 10%, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When I look at the charts, because a lot of times, like I say, they can move fast. It can move quick, right in front of your eyes. And,
What you tell
I
them?
like to watch the market. I
You be
like to
like,
watch
damn
the
it, I
market
should have
cap
got
because
in.
the market cap's going to tell you if that's trading volume or if that's price appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because price appreciation is going to push your market cap up.
Yeah, it's
The
gonna
trading
hold it.
value
There's going to be a lot of, and you'll see it.
last 24 hours. You can get $5-10 million that could come in, $20 million that could come into of trading volume in an hour,
Yeah.
less than an hour.
From 9:30 to
And that
shit.
won't.
9:30 to 10:30 is the most volume most of the time. And at closing. And the market close. There's a lot of people trying to get orders in at the last minute, before
Oh,
the
you're talking
next
about the
day.
market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're talking about. So, what about after hour trading then? You know what I'm saying with that, John?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
you
mean,
paid.
after settlement, they're gonna settle. You got to settle for the day, and then that's when they usually open up after market. Usually shut
Right.
down from 5 to 6. And then, that's during the settlement. No,
and
then
then
they
they start trading around 7 after hours
when Tokyo and all them open again.
when they come online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and well, these things can move quick. That's what I'm saying because like I believe XRP is going to actually, and I'm going to check the price of it right now to see what it what it is.
It didn't hit my alert, so
Still, what is it? Where you had it set at?
177.04.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I seen it as well. I said it ain't going down there, man. You know, I said you talking about 170. That's why yes, that. I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. I am gonna get this now because if it comes down, it might free fall and come down and still come. That's gonna put a lot of fear on, into the market if it comes down there. I think a lot of the time, and then there's those wicks. You know what I'm saying? There's short, quick wicks that come down, but it
That's
probably
where
did
that.
come down and wick down, like you
That's where
said.
that mark is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you trying to catch a wick. I'm I'm not I don't really if I see the candles, if I see the price then
Where is that
come
now?
down, I'm trying to get over to my back one.
I'm saying, where is it now?
I'm looking right now. Hold on, let me see. Here we go. Am I online? Is this right? Let's see. I'm not online. See, I don't want to give you it. I gotta make sure I get that sometime. Hold on. I got the Wi-Fi on for this phone. Then when the call drops, that's when I kind of got messed up. You're not connected. You reconnect.
Mm.
Not connected. What's going on? Hold on for 1 second. I'm going nowhere.
I would jump on. I'm trying to finish up this. I'm about done with this, so I'll jump on in a minute.
There you go. Yeah, I had to turn my thing back on. This thing goes off and stuff. That's why I'm saying. Like, sometimes, man, and that's the other thing about technology, man. It is such a part of the daily life. Okay, it's down. It then went down to 191. It was up. It was a little bit more up, almost 193, whatever the case. But so I'm just thinking they're predicting before the end of the year. I don't like to buy into that stuff, man. I don't like to buy into that. But you got so much that's happening right now. What is moving this market? What's moving the market, sir? What's moving the market? You still there? I think I might have just messed it up.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is moving the market right now, man? What's moving the I mean, volatility?
Yeah, it's volatile. It's
Volatile.
uncertainty, man. It's uncertainty. They don't know if they wanted to push up or if they wanted to. Right now, they're waiting for some big announcement from maybe the president or something to give it some more fuel to go up. Because he been back in the crypto, but they got like a certain couple dates. They said the 15th something was supposed to happen, but nothing really happened except for the price went down.
Yeah, they're giving them those that's a false broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um,
But every time they say a date, the
I,
shit go down and go the opposite.
yeah,
But what they
I
really
believe it.
doing is they dropping the price so the big institutions can get in, man. That's what I've been
Well,
saying.
that
It's the big reset, but nobody knows the bottom. You go crazy trying to predict the bottom. Basically, what you gotta do is just keep accumulating for the moon shot. For that shit gonna spring up out of nowhere.
they're
You
trying to
know?
put a lot of fear in, trying to get people to panic sell. I
Yeah.
seen on a YouTube video yesterday where they were saying about um, don't put your stuff. This is what they said. Don't put the stuff on. Don't put it on Coinbase. Don't put it on Robin. They went from saying don't use decentralized, or they went from saying don't use centralized or decentralized. So I'm saying to myself, where you
Where you
supposed
supposed
to
to
put
put
this
it?
stuff at?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, nah, this ain't right. This somebody
It's just
is,
confusing. They're trying to confuse the people. That's all.
yeah, they're throwing the, you know, they're throwing the hook and just
Yeah.
trying to, confuse
This,
everybody,
the same
see
tactics
who
when
they
they
can
told everybody don't mess with crypto. It's a scam. Don't get involved. But behind closed doors, they was
buying
still
it up.
they was still dipping their toe in it. They was being cautious.
And
See
then they
the
put their
difference.
whole foot.
Yeah. The difference right now is they ready to put their whole leg in there. Before they was just dipping the toe. You know, so they
Just
want the
no,
price to drop down to a nice stable number, where they could put in the truckload. You know, like I'm worth 100 mil. I'm about to put 40, 50 mil in on this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before they was only putting 100 grand in. That's like I'm saying.
and then a lot of them made lot. I mean, I made more money in it too. I made a lot more money in you know a, such a short period of time that I've
Hmm.
never experienced making that of money in such a short period of time, and to think that that was just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Which only opens up your mind to, well, what if I can make this thing? Or what if I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was talking about it. I saw it, they say, oh, when you get bit by the bug, the Bitcoin or the crypto bug, you
Hmm.
have been bit by the bug because, you know, it's like having your, your first, cupping um, your first J, if you ever, what I'm saying, like, never smoke,
Hmm.
then smoke your little first joint and stuff, and you so
First time you get high
out,
for real, right?
like, oh my god,
You're like,
bro,
what?
oh god, bro. You like
You all
laugh,
paranoid,
uh,
laughing.
no. This is when it's good and you enjoy it. You get paranoid, it's hard to enjoy it. You know, paranoia sets in. You can't enjoy
But the
it.
but
You're like,
but it,
oh.
but it go quickly though. It go quickly from paranoia to you just laughing and giggling, and now everything, what I'm saying, is nothing. For
And
some people allow the paranoia to take over.
it's like, okay, that's the thing, man. These people now, what's taking over? They've already made. First of all, they're already. Second of all, they already made themselves even super more wealthy, and now they want the market to come back down and see where it's going, and then they're like, screw it, we're just going to the moon. We might as well. We might as well just be like, we falling, or we're putting the whole leg in this time. You know what I'm saying? Because that opportunity is presenting itself. You know,
Hmm.
that opportunity is now presenting itself once again. Because these markets, when they get ready to move, like, yo, when it's like, if you're watching the market,
Look, see, I seen on my investing.com, Wells Fargo expects the S&P to rise I couldn't get the whole caption. That shit just went out.
Oh, it died.
No, the caption. You know how it pop up on your screen and it went away.
Oh, I understand. But yeah, yeah. You until you're watching the markets and you see that, oh, it's getting ready to, like you got your buy order in at a certain time, so like, oh, shit, it came
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? Or you see, once you see that order get filled, you like, you might have had that order sitting there for a minute, waiting for it to get filled patiently because the markets are
Forgot
gonna
about it.
come down
Hmm.
to it. Yeah, at some point,
Hmm.
where there's that, that fair value. You want to get it at a fair market price, fair value. So you're putting orders in there, and believe me, I know a lot of that, how it is, how it's done, because my son does that stuff, and he always tells me, about where he's setting his buy orders, and I already know a little. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great. He's doing. I put him on to. I
Hmm.
He don't nothing about crypto or nothing. I put it up. That's why I'm proud of him, man.
And
I'm
now he
proud of him
taking
because
off with it, right?
taking off where he's bold too. He's doing stuff like you guys. I don't know how y'all can do the trading. I get it. I've done some swing trading, but how you
Hmm.
guys trade is on a different level with that level. You know what I'm saying? How you guys
Yeah.
do it, you know what I'm saying? Is it's it's a bold move, and I I just don't have the type of, what I'm saying, the nerves to kind of. I've already not just been bitten by the bug. You know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah.
have like flashbacks of the shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I'm one of the people that have been, I would say, scammed or whatever in this. And we pretty much everybody
We
has,
all been.
or whoever has, what I'm saying, people have all had their own level of, certain, everybody different exposure to things, to this, market is different. You got the billionaires, you know what I'm saying? You got the first time people putting in maybe $2,
Yeah.
um,
The retail
maybe
traders,
somebody dropping retails,
Hmm.
somebody dropping their hand in it because they want to retire, so they just cashed out of their 401k. So I'm gonna just
Okay.
go in here. My friend did it, and you know what I'm saying. They can either win or lose it all. So
Yep.
everybody is really at a certain point with this, and it's really like no nobody can really tell you when is the best time to get in. But
No.
that's not necessarily true because in certain assets, and I say certain assets, that's why I'm like, I'd rather tell somebody, you have less risk on with this, even though over here there's still more room to keep going up. And I'm talking, but it takes big money to make that big money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So over here, I'm not going to say, yeah, get in, because unless you have the kind of, big boy money to go at it like that, or the nerves of steel to watch whatever the money, if it fluctuate by 20% over here is so much more capital than 20% over here. Over here, 20% growth is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Because you buying in at a very low entry level. That's what I say.
Hmm.
Normally we would say a good time to get in, but it depends on the asset. I personally think that I'm just gonna say, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I definitely want to, take advantage of any buy-in opportunities that I may see. You know what I'm saying? And then I will target those entry levels and say, yeah, here is a good time to buy, which is because I'm at, where I'm at with it. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? We all have our own, lens that we look through when we say, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, getting some exposure to that. It's looking good from here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you really feel strongly about it, I encourage you to double down, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but, that's when you feel the need to. Like, so that way you can get the most out. That's, I like to do that sometimes. I don't always double down. I don't always, go in heavy.
Go heavy.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just like,
No, you gotta
it's
make
just
incrementals. You know.
Yeah, a
Small
little
incremental.
accumulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a good price. I see a nice little price. It's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, did you see that? Well, it's down low. You got me a little bit some of that. You know what I mean? As to what I'm holding on to currently. That's my approach.
Mm-hmm.
It's been working. It's been working. You know, but XRP, man, I would like to see it get back up to over $3. All time high is like 370. You know what I'm saying? Just south of $4. Um, if we can get
Mm-hmm.
$4, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? With a new high, all time high. If I see an all time high, man, you're gonna see me
Man,
smiling like a mug. You're gonna be
listen,
happy, man.
I'm holding out
You
on
know?
XRP until that shit reach 100. It's got to
It,
go there. If
yeah, of
that
course, of course.
that shit is the rails for the new banking system. Yo, every major institution in banking is jumping on board for XRP. XRP,
All the
Solano, you know what I'm saying? It's speed of transaction, and they making all the connections with all the big companies, Visa, MasterCard, you
oh yeah.
know, JP
What
Morgan,
up?
all the big
They,
institutions, man. And the
they all
XRP ETFs, said them shit's been booming. I'm about to get some exposure on that side too, man.
yeah, because you can't go wrong with that, and that's gonna. I think that a lot of the money that is in,
There's no
it ain't
dividends
even
on
a
those, right?
question.
Ain't no
Nah,
dividends
that
on
was,
those,
but
is it?
you don't have to do that because I think if you get staking, if you want to get the XRP,
You could stake it,
they're
yeah.
gonna stake. They're
Yeah.
going. You buy the ETF
That's what the
while they're
IntelliStake
holding
is
the
on.
XRP.
Yeah.
What?
That IntelliStake I'm telling you about is about
Uh-huh.
staking. It's about crypto staking. Is where it's on the fetch. It's with the fetch and what's the name? The artificial super intelligence is fetch, AGIX, and one more other coin or token. Or they all came together to make ASI, artificial super
Yes.
intelligence. Yeah, and they run in that super link. The IntelliStake is all running, with those ecosystems entwined and shit. So you can get exposure to that through the fetch, through the ASI, and I gotta remember I wrote it down. I gotta remember the other company that's involved in that shit, man.
Two ways to trade with Kraken. Ooh,
Oh, you didn't play the thing.
I'm
So
trying to
you had to.
pull it up. I'm trying to pull it up. Um, well, they're saying that they're saying a lot of these other things are gonna go away. Right? A lot of this stuff is gonna go away. They don't have real world use case. I don't know how they're going to be used. Like they're not with smart contracts or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't have a smart contract or something like some kind of functionality and it's just hype and it's a meme coin, absolutely,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's
probably not
false.
going to serve the general purpose in the new financial. I don't know because you think about I don't see. This is the other thing. You talk about shaking up the guys because if they have plans for everything, come on, there's got to be. There's, meme coins have meme coins do have some use case. You want to know why? Because they could be used as logos. They could be used as logos, like a meme. You
Yeah,
got a meme with a different face. A high school mascot is a meme,
true. Yeah, height
or it can be tokenized. It can be tokenized, and then otherwise, what I'm saying? Used,
made
traded,
into a
bet
real
against.
world asset. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, convert it into a real world asset because you're betting against the team, or you can bet for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I would say be cautious. Not that everything is gonna go, away or things are gonna just go
Yeah.
to zero.
I mean, it's like 20,000, however many thousand coins. All of them is not gonna be, relevant. It's probably gonna be boiled down to
But
maybe
you talk about,
1,000, maybe 1,000 coins or something. I mean, real world use
but
cases and shit.
but you see, I think too, like we gotta really think how big this globe is, how many people are on this planet,
Yeah,
how
that
much
too.
how much those people are going to wind up, you know, some form of however they acquire some assets, whether they do bulk purchases or through adoption, they wind up stacking stacks. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a reward system that they're part of, and it's bringing in something to the tune of a good amount, right?
Hmm.
That will sustain. Not that they were heavy investors and on a whole nother level with this stuff, but think about all of the people, and then all of the use cases. Um, because if we say, oh, the grid is already, you know they can't dumb down all the transactions and the hash power and the money and trade or whatever, or the accumulating or the circulating or the price appreciating assets, all on, unless these chains can handle massive, that vast amounts of throughput.
Hmm. I mean, that's
They're gonna there,
quantum computing
there's
and
the
all
need.
that shit. Hmm.
Well, then you invest in quantum computing, and then you say crypto is out the door, which is tokenize and quantum invest in quantum. How do you invest in quantum? Or so you just actually buy into the actual quantum computer now? You say, I
Hmm.
don't buy crypto no more. I'm buying quantum computers. I'm buying
They
I'm buying
they go
throughput
hand in hand.
or the
I
hash
can't.
rate. I'm buying the hash
uh,
rate that is used on a daily
I
basis.
can't get it to
I'm
do
you know
the
I'm
apps
investing
anymore.
in that, and that's basically investing in like what you were just talking about. Um,
Master bedroom
you
setup.
ain't
I
calling that
want to
one
try to do it right there.
I can get him on CD if you guys radio on. Hey,
And
Eric, you got it on, Eric? I'll wait around.
yeah,
When he comes out, he follow me. I'll show him what okay. Yeah, gentlemen, say he's gonna wait for you down here,
yeah,
and he'll show you where to go take it at.
yep. I tried
He said,
that.
"Do you already know what's going?" I don't know what's going.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a pen drop for him? I don't know. Okay, simple.
And then the last
All
one.
right. You say you're gonna wait 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, trillions. They're talking trillions, bro. Listen to this guy.
I gotta raise it so I can see the
Controlled by the cash lender or the borrower. Now, using
um
XRP for settlement. Now imagine a standard overnight repo between a dealer
what does
A
it
and
say?
a money market fund B. The agreed terms, the
Yeah,
size,
there's
the
something down
collateral,
at the bottom.
haircut, rate, maturity on a DLT
Gotta
native
get out
repo
of that.
platform integrated with
Close
the
out of
XRP ledger and T plus zero or
it. Go
T0.
back.
The platform
Might
triggers an
have
atomic
to.
swap.
I
These
can't really make it
tokenized
smaller,
cash is delivered
but I
to
want
A's, and A's tokenized collateral moves
additional
into a smart
fees and all
contract
that shit
escrow
going
that
on.
enforces the repo terms, where XRP comes in for settlement. If A and B are in a different currency or on different ledgers, the cash rate can route through the XRP ledger as a bridge asset. That is the new system, ladies and gentlemen. That's it.
Go.
That's what we were just saying.
Now delete it. Yeah.
That's
Then
what
you're
he
gonna have
just
to
said.
put
You heard what he
you
just
gotta play that back. Play that back in 1 second. I'm trying to finish up this contract with my wife real quick, but I wasn't really listening, so gotta play that back.
look, play it back. I'm gonna play it back.
Thank you.
Objects
Yeah.
are no longer
Okay.
So they're talking about the repo market.
Okay.
Let me bring
Go
it
ahead.
back one more. This is
Yeah, I'm
one
back
more so you
now.
can hear it. All right, I'm gonna bring it back when you can hear it. Well, regularly stablecoin. The example here is tokens money market funds, RLUS style, RLUSD style instruments. He's talking about tokenized money funds and the RLUSD. Because RLUSD is a stable coin that they settle the payments in,
Okay.
payment settlement. Like
Hmm.
just like if all these different people, like you were saying, swapping in and out of coins. But what if you're in a different country and
Hmm.
does it go for dollar to dollar and so forth? So that's what he was just saying. So I'll play it. USD launching in all kinds of different countries and continents. We're going to get an RL yen launching in Japan probably next year. But we're going to get an RL Great British Pound. We're getting an RL Real down in Brazil. RL Euro. It is all going to be on the XRP ledger. That can sit on the XRP ledger. Can you tell these are? Oh man, they threw the commercial in there on me. So it's going to come back. Hold on, here we go. Skip that. Objects are no longer tokenized collateral is in custody, smart contract, or escrow. Tokenized cash. Oh my goodness! He said, "Wait a minute. Oh, I gotta go back because I think I got a question here. All right. Tokenization, treasuries, agency, MBS, or high-grade collateral are tokenized on the XRP ledger or an XRPL connected app chain. Think H2LA, Onyx, DTCC style collateral networks were built to interoperate with XRP rails. Cash links, USD, Great British Pound, Euro appear as compliant fiat tokens or regulated stablecoins. The example here is tokenized money market funds, RLUSD style instruments. We're seeing RLUSD launching in all kinds of different countries and continents. We're going to get an RL yen launching in Japan probably next year. But we're going to get an RL Great British Pound. We're getting an RL Real down in Brazil. RL Euro. It is all going to be on the XRP ledger. That can sit on the XRP ledger or sidechains. Here we go. At this point, the repo objects are no longer tokenized collateral is in custody, smart contract, or escrow. Tokenized cash balances controlled by the cash lender or the borrower. Now, using XRP for settlement. Now imagine a standard overnight repo between a dealer A and a money market fund B. The agreed terms, the size, the collateral, haircut, rate, maturity on a DLT native repo platform integrated with the XRP ledger at T plus 0 or T0. The platform triggers an atomic swap. B's tokenized cash is delivered to A's, and A's tokenized collateral moves into a smart contract escrow that enforces the repo terms. Where XRP comes in for settlement, if A and B are in a different currency or on different ledgers, the cash rate can route through the XRP ledger as a bridge asset. That is the new system, ladies and gentlemen. That was just what you say.
Mm-hmm.
How you swap it while you're in the wallet.
Yep. That's it.
Right? And I just said but now RLUSD.
That's what I'm saying. That's what make it so advantageous, man. Versus regular foreign exchange currencies, like versus regular dollar and fiat currency.
Changing that ID instead of changing the dollar from doing exchange like an exchange rate or kiosk. Go to the kiosk, change the money.
Yeah.
When you're at they're usually at the airport, or if you step foot on foreign soil, there's a kiosk usually somewhere right there. You can change your money.
And with that,
now you can do it through a wallet.
Right through your wallet. Everything's all in one.
But it was talking about smart contracts over here.
Yeah.
So now you're writing a contract right now for a customer, for one of your customers.
Yeah.
And let's say your customer dealt in a different type of currency.
Mm-hmm.
What you would need to do is your contract need to have some kind of clause in there so that when you do your payment or your settle, requisition for your, you know, for your you invoice for
Invoice. Hmm.
your yeah, when you do a invoice requisite, um that smart contract would say, hey, it needs to act as upon exchange of the funds. It needs to act as in a smart manner, smart through the smart contract, and through the bank. The bank going to transfer it over into whatever stable coin you, and when it settle in real time. You're going to get you know said amount of dollars, and you don't have to worry because your customer is using uh,
The
kind
smart.
of a foreign, yeah, because the smart contract actually acts just like you wrote it up, so that when you get paid, they know to pay you. That's what the smart contract is doing. It just flips and
Hmm.
swaps it. The banks already recognize that there's a requisition or an invoice for a said amount of, what I'm saying, um, cash settlement for whatever work you did, and then the transaction, whatever the rate is that y'all agreed to, whatever the case may be, because you might add into your contract. I'm not paying for any exchange fees or any, what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Hmm.
slippage into, what
Hmm.
your currency is versus mine. All I know is
Well,
I
soon
want
as
X amount settled at
at
this,
this number. Yeah.
when that like this is my buy-in. This is
Hmm.
my, what I'm
My
saying, right
limit.
here.
Yeah. Limit order. Yeah. Hmm.
Right, your limit of what you want. This
Yeah.
is how the smart contracts operate. So now you can conduct your business, real world use case. You can conduct your business, and then when your transaction for your final payments or any payments, upfront payments or whatever it is, it happens seamlessly, regardless of what your currency is and the other person's currency is, because the settlement, you're going to get what you want exactly to the letter and to the dollar, because that's the smart contract.
And it's
We just
fast, and you're
basically
gonna
did
get
all
that
that.
shit in seconds. You
Yeah,
know,
there's no wait time at the
there's no
bank or
wait
nothing.
time,
It's settled.
nothing.
Um,
Yeah, that's the
I
future
like
of
the sound of
banking.
that. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
That's
But
what I'm
so
saying.
in order to make this happen,
But see, what I'm
because
saying,
a lot
I
of
don't. I'm thinking, what is it really gonna do to the foreign exchange, though? What is it gonna do to the exchange currencies when everything is just when things is just trading on crypto?
well, what do you mean? Was it the
Like,
foreign exchange currencies? I
like
mean, what do you
no,
mean? Are they
no,
going to
the
devalue them?
that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna be like the dollar. Is the dollar and all that stuff gonna just go away because everybody's
Well, I
trading
guess they would
crypto?
probably. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It'd be, like look at Venezuela. Their
Because
money is like
if they turn the treasury
wallpaper.
into Bitcoin, it's gonna have to be all crypto. You're gonna have to trade crypto in order. There's gonna be no fiat, basically.
Well, then I think it'll become an issue of environment. It's an environmental issue because they're using. Well, they say they cut down trees to actually make money, but it's made from fabric, and I'm sure that fabric is a fabric that probably comes from a tree, or comes from just like cotton. You know what I'm saying? So it's an
Hmm.
environmental thing to, like, if you cut down the trees, you're reducing the carbon monoxide that we need, because the trees release carbon dioxide into the air, which we need, you know, uh, to make oxygen. You need, um, carbon emission and what is it? Hydrogen,
Hmm.
and oxygen, right? H2O.
H2O, yeah.
So you need hydrogen and oxygen, not
Yeah.
carbon. You need hydrogen and oxygen. But
Hmm.
the carbon dioxide that is released from the trees allow for your oxygen
Yeah, that's what creates
levels.
oxygen.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the
H2O is
hydrogen,
water.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, the hydrogen that H2O is in the atmosphere, but without the carbon emissions from, you know what I'm saying, the trees emit carbon emissions.
Yeah.
The trees emit
And
carbon, because
no,
it's a
we
carbon
we
emission,
we emit
but it's a
carbon, but we taking in the oxygen and converting it into carbon dioxide.
carbon. Yeah, so but the trees, well, they don't emit carbon.
No,
They
but they creating
create the oxygen,
oxygen. Hmm.
right? They create the oxygen.
Hmm.
But in order for, once you cut them down, once you keep cutting trees down, there's no there's no oxygen. That's it. There's no oxygen.
Hmm.
So, or reduce carbon emissions basically is,
I'm not getting
let
them
the
up.
trees live. You know what I'm saying? Don't cut them down to create the machines. The machines that produce a lot of the fabric is what emits the carbon dioxide.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
those carbon emissions are released from the machines that otherwise are come from the manufacturing plants
Yeah.
in from a machine.
Hmm.
So trees, let's go back to cutting trees down with an axe. You know, it's serious.
Hmm.
It just all comes
Yeah.
down to that. It's like, man. Um, so rule out the need for making the money. Stop cutting the trees. Stop
Hmm.
printing. Cut the printing machine off.
Yeah.
Cut the machine off.
I
Right?
mean,
Don't omit carbon. Uh, don't put carbon emissions from the exhaust from these machines into the atmosphere, and it just
hmm,
becomes a level of now. They it has to do with, well, is it going to become national security, or is it going to become a global? Um, like, how they say green earth.
hmm.
XRP has to do with the green earth. Bitcoin doesn't.
Mm. Yeah, because
Bitcoin doesn't.
Bitcoin is Bitcoin is proof of work. So it's mining. So it's mined, and the mining is through the electrical grid, through the computers and shit. So it take a lot of energy to mine the Bitcoin. Um,
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of energy, but where are they
it's
harnessing the energy from? Okay, we're trying to harness
from the
it from the
electrical
wind and
grid,
from the
from
yeah,
electrical grid.
from the electrical grid, but they want to harness it with those. That is the grid, basically, the thing with turbines and stuff. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, it's still up there, and he is waiting for these dudes. Well, I would have been up there now for a couple hours. I know you
Shit,
want to probably get back
more
to
than that.
doing what you got going. I'm,
Hmm.
well, I'm glad I stopped this morning on my way coming in, and I picked up breakfast sandwich and egg
Hmm.
and cheese. I had two of them. I'm glad I got
Oh,
two of them.
oh, you fill
I had
that
my
shit up, huh?
breakfast. Now I'm gonna have some lunch. I'm still sitting here, man. I wish I would have stopped and grabbed something else to drink. I done drunk all my coffee. I don't have any coffee. I don't have any bottles of water here in the truck.
Mm.
I'm definitely ready for them to load me up and send me on my way because I'm gonna pull over at the first sign of a convenience store. Go in there and grab me something. Get hydrated.
Facts.
And I've been talking over here too, so I'm out getting dry and I'm up. Yeah.
All right. Shit. Appreciate
So yeah, man.
convo.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming up here on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes,
hoping
sir.
that those people that were. I hope the people that were definitely in here. That was at some point there was some people in here. We were just
Yeah.
going. We were in conversing. I think they were just like taking it in, and then
Just tapped in
people
and
will
tapped out.
scroll. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
scroll and then they come in for a minute. They scroll back, go back. They come back in and then they scroll. But I appreciate them guys that did come in and leave your your little comments and whatever you had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Just gotta get some translation for what my man's saying. I'm saying I could see assalamu alaikum, but I don't know what's going on after that.
Yeah, I
Some
saw him. I saw that. I saw a couple people. But then next thing you know,
mm-hmm.
we got into the discussion. So, all right, man, I'm pulling
Send
around
that
here as
shit.
we speak.
You sent it to Chef and them?
No, I ain't send it to him. I did let him know that we was gonna do it. Hold on for 1 second. What's going on, man? Pull back up there what he was. We're already done for that side. Okay. We gotta wait on them to put the asphalt back to the other side. So okay. I'm gonna wait for the other dump truck to come in here with the asphalt for them to pay that side first. Okay. I'll have somebody come get you, but don't have to back up there to it. All right, 10 4. Y'all ain't got no bottles of water. You don't have no bottles of water. Yeah. If you can, I'm drying up in here, man. All right. Somebody, I need some water, man. Cause I tell them, these guys, they come out. They usually have bottles of water because when they come out here, they know they ain't going nowhere. They're gonna be out here indefinitely until it's time for them to go home. Somebody got a bottle of water for me. I usually have all my stuff, but today I just didn't have anything I usually would have. I usually have a whole bunch of snacks and stuff in my damn lunchbox. They're like,
Well, nah,
just
shit.
you'll be all right.
Shit, go handle. And
Yeah,
I'll
man,
hit
I'm
you
about to
up.
go through my thing. Yeah, man. So, all right, man, be safe, man. I appreciate you once again, man. We'll chop it up again.
You already know. Hey,
Body.
set
Huh?
that link up with Issa. We can chop it up with Issa.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna definitely do that. I might try to see if I can send him an invite too and get both of y'all up here. So y'all could, you know what I'm saying? Let some people in that might be wanting to know, how to get started. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you guys do. You know what I'm saying? Doing that
Fact.
levitating stuff. We'll
Yes,
link
sir.
up with that, man. I'm gonna let you go. Have a
All right,
blessed
fam.
day for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Salute
You
to you.
too.
All
Peace,
right?
baby.
Peace.
One.
All right. All right. Do you have a beloved? All that good information, like all that knowledge that was, what I'm saying, we were bringing to you. Let me put this up there. All that knowledge man brought to you, man. Interview them on the show. There you go. All that information that man was bringing to you, man. So more, one of the most important things that I will kind of want to try to educate y'all, tell you to go out if you are thinking that I thought he was bringing me a bottle of water. They ain't bringing me no water. Let me be. There was some bottles of water right there. I'm gonna get one too. But if you on the back, if you're thinking about getting any of these assets, these cryptos, or things, the uh, digital currencies and stuff like that, do yourself a favor. Um, go into the on my page. Go into the community section, the post section, and you'll see a link there. Where you'll see I have a promotion tab up there for I posted a couple of pictures up there, about 4 or 5 of the Tandem digital wallet. It's a cold storage wallet. People are, you know, there, there, there's, there's, there's a couple ways to custody your crypto, man. People are losing their cryptos, you know, getting locked out of exchanges where they have otherwise, you know, bought crypto, you know, and just bought it up there because they linked their card to the site, created an account, and they push the buy button. 20 bucks, $200, 250 bucks, $500. Put their money on these exchanges, and it's still kind of safe because they figure, well, I got the phone, it's right here. It's my phone. Look, I could show you my account and go pull up the account and they log in and they show it to you. Say, see, yeah, look here, it's right here on my phone, and that's cool. That the app that you download is a way to link you um, to that account because you created it, right? And it's on that app. If the app itself fails, you're now disconnected from access what's on that account, right? And that account could be linked to you through a couple of different ways: your cell phone number or your email. But the app, once the app is disconnected from your contact information, hypothetically, you still do have an account with these people. So you just gotta kind of plug back into their system, like their you know tap back into their wire or whatever, their digital signal, the signal or whatever, through your phone or from a computer somewhere, and access that account. Put your username and password. That's a lot of steps, man. And then you gotta hope that you gain access to not just the site, but to your funds. I don't have to worry about that using this cold storage wallet because whatever is on that wallet is on that wallet. And it's not an exchange. It's not an app that I downloaded on the phone. It's a card. Like you have the chip. So there's the chip inside. It's like you have a card with a chip. So wherever that chip goes, that's where the money's going. It's connected to a bank. You know what I'm saying? It's wired into through like an app or something. It brings it all together. And you can get disconnected from that bank or from that phone or from that, like I said, figure I got it. I opened up the app on the phone. You can lose the phone, throw the phone away, whatever the case is. Then you can go download the app again. Try to put it on a whole nother. But you got a card in your hand and the chip, you still can put that into the machine and get the money. So you don't want to lose access to your money. And you know, like, okay, well, the bank has an FD, actually insured, up to a certain amount of dollars. So if anything happens, I should be able to go to the bank and give me back my money. And that's something that it makes ownership almost seem like it's definitely, something that won't. But now let's just say that bank, banks don't have the money. They're not required to keep the money in the bank. So now, even though you connect it to the card with with the chip, you might have some spending limits, man. Why? Because the bank says so. So this is why I said cold storage, because cold storage, everything that's on it, you have access to it. You can go ahead and transfer, the bulk of it to somewhere where hey, I'm good here. I can use it on this card. Some of these, some of these cold storage wallets, they also feature Visa cards. So from the time you go from the crypto to wanting to put it into a form, much like your debit card that just got loaded from your cold storage, like a direct deposit. Boom. Direct deposit came in, you take that card and spend it and use it anywhere. Right? It's got a Visa logo, it's got a chip in the whole nine. It's associated with your cold storage hardware wallet. That's the safest place, if you ask me, for holding and storage, holding and storing these assets. I'm not going to never tell you leave it on. No, I'll say, yeah, go ahead, open up a Coinbase account. But I'm also tell you, man, soon as you buy it, transfer transfer it right over to self custody. You know. Anyway, you can find a link in my called the Tanzan wallet. You get 10% off if you use the promo code, the referral code. I'm sorry, I got a referral code up there. You can get 10% off. All right. Do me a favor. Smash the like button, man. Leave me a comment if there's something that you found some value in, anything that I said or the other gentleman said. See, subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Boys, peace out. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to sit here and I got to wait. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.